So what does struck off mean in a tax sale? What on earth is that? Well, as a lawyer, I can tell you, we make lots of weird terms for things. Struck off in a tax sale, really simple. It just means that there weren't any bidders and nobody bought it. You might say, well, why would that happen? Well, it can happen for a couple of reasons. One, maybe it was just overlooked. And the reason for that is that these sales have many, many properties that come in all at the same time. Like, for example, in Baltimore City, Maryland. That tax sale list is north of 30,000 properties every time. It's an annual sale. It's more than 30,000 properties. There's no way that that group of bidders can do the due diligence and be prepared to bid on 30,000 properties. It's just impossible. So there are lots of properties that just don't get sold because no one got a chance to evaluate them and do their due diligence. So there can be some great properties that don't get bid on. And stay until the end, because I'm going to introduce you to a gentleman that has made a whole business out of buying those leftover properties when there's no competition, there's no rush, it's much easier, and you can buy them much cheaper. So you can do that all across the country, not just in Maryland, not just in Baltimore, but everywhere, because it happens with just too many properties that come in at once. Another example in Pennsylvania, which is where I originally started buying properties, all of the tax sales for the September upset sale, which is a once-a-year sale, are all held the third week in September for all the counties in Pennsylvania. There's just no way to do all the due diligence for the bidders to be prepared. So lots of properties, like I would say, slip through the cracks. They're good properties, but they just don't get bid on just because people just can't keep up with it. So struck off just means it wasn't bid on. Now, that also means there's often a secondary opportunity to bid. So what I've done, if you look up over my shoulder, as long as your browser supports it, there's a link to a video that I did with my friend Tony, where we just did an interview with him talking about a system that he developed for identifying those properties and being able to just waltz down to the county courthouse and buy them for the taxes that are owed, or even sometimes less. Like the picture you see up there, I bought that property through this method for $275 for a whole property. Wasn't as nice as it looks in this picture, but wasn't that bad either. $275 for a whole house with no mortgage on it. Pretty amazing. So anyway, this is a really good opportunity. Also, I'll put a link to Tony's video down below where I did the interview with him. Really interesting information, and he has a whole system for doing this. So if you're interested in that, in getting those struck off properties, really great way to do it. The second thing I'll say about struck off properties and tax sales in general is that tax sales are full of these like archaic terms and things that you need to know to safely be a bidder. So you really want to be careful when you're doing tax sales. And I just tell you this because I started my tax sale journey in 1989 as a buyer of tax sales. Since then, I've been a tax sale buyer, I've bought mortgage foreclosure sales, I've done the business I do now, overages. I made a really great career out of entrepreneurship in general, and I want you to be successful without having some of the body blows that entrepreneurs take because they don't know what they're doing. They just get into things like, I'm just going to go to the auction and buy something. You can't do that, because if, for example, you do that in Pennsylvania, properties there come with the mortgages attached to them at that September tax sale. You can see more about that. If you look at my channel, I did a whole video on Pennsylvania tax sales, and you can see it. But people don't know that. We would laugh as the insiders at people coming in and they'd buy a beautiful property in like Gladwin, Pennsylvania, which is a super ritzy neighborhood. And they'd be like, oh my God, nobody else bid in this. And they're like amazing, looking around at the other bidders. Yeah, we didn't bid because it had a mortgage balance that was worth more than the house. And the person that just bought, the $1 million house they thought for $200,000 didn't. They bought a $1 million house with a $1 million mortgage on it, plus they paid $200,000 that isn't supportive of any equity. So anyway, I want you to be educated. I want you to be successful because I want you to have a great life. I love my life as an entrepreneur. I left corporate America in 2005. And since then, I've built an amazing life that is just one that would be the envy of anybody. And I want you to be able to access that. I want you to walk the path that I've already cleared. So in this channel, I'm sharing entrepreneurship secrets and ways for you to avoid the landmines that are out there for the uneducated. So please, if you're in this business, you want to be in tax sales, you want to be in entrepreneurship, you want to be in the overages business, make sure that you subscribe to my channel because I'm putting out content on this all the time. It's based on many, many years of experience. I've been doing this since 1989. I want to share this with you and help you to be more successful more quickly. Let's get back to tax sales though. So with tax sales, struck off, those are great opportunities, really great opportunities. To learn more about that, definitely check out Tony's video. He'll tell you all about it, and he'll even educate you on how to do that if you want. Second opportunity is overages, which is kind of the flip side of the coin. So what are overages, you ask? Well, glad you asked. So overages are when the property sells at the tax sale and it sells for more than the past due taxes. That happens all the time. And let's just take an example. So if you had a house that was average house in America, around $400,000, it sells at tax sale, probably going to sell for about 70 to 80% of its value. So sold for 80%, that's $320,000. Sold for 70%, it's $280,000. Let's say it sells for 70%, $280,000. The bidder's thrilled, got $120,000 off. He's got a nice margin in there. He's going to make some good money. But the taxes owed are not going to be $270,000. The taxes are more likely to be around $50,000 because that house is probably 3 to 4 years behind in taxes. The taxes, even with interest and penalties, are going to add up to around $50,000, which means that the county keeps $50,000 to cover its taxes, but the money over and above that, meaning the $270,000 they collected, that money's free for the former owner to claim it as long as they, number one, know about it, number two, they actually put in a claim. Most homeowners have no idea there's any money left over. They have no idea there's even a process to claim it, so they never get the money. Matter of fact, 7 out of 10 times they never get the money. So what I've done is build a whole business out of that at getting lists of this overages monies that are held, getting in touch with the homeowner, telling them the good news, hey, there's some money that you could claim, and for a percentage, I'm happy to do that work. If it's not successful, it doesn't cost you anything, but I think we'll get you a big windfall here, and I'm willing to take a chance on that. I'll do the work, and if we're successful, I'll get a percentage. Not successful, it doesn't cost you a penny. I love the business because I'm helping people who've literally lost everything. These are like the widows and orphans of the world. And it just bothers me on a really core level that these people have lost their house, end up out on the street, and there's literally tens of thousands, sometimes even hundreds of thousands, that they're entitled to, but they don't get because they don't know about it. And the number is 7 out of 10 times they don't get the money. That's from a study that the state of Maryland does every year. 7 out of 10 times they don't get their money. So I've made it my cause to help these people get their money. And we do dozens of these deals a year, dozens and dozens. But there are thousands of tax sales every day. Every day there are about 3,000 tax sales. So I can't even begin to imagine trying to build a business that big. I love my business as it is, but I don't love the thought of trying to cover 3,000. So I've gotten into the business also of educating people on how they can do this business so that you can have an entrepreneurial life that is literally unmatched. And I'll just give you some examples. So in my entrepreneurial life as an overages business owner, I work from home. I just work on the phone. I don't go out and have to meet clients. I just call them on the phone, see if they want some help getting their money. So every morning I have breakfast with my son and my daughter. Matter of fact, I'm the breakfast chef in my house. I'm flipping the eggs and cooking breakfast for them every morning. And to me, that's really wonderful. You know, we'll sing songs, we'll read books. My wife says we fool around too much. I don't know, we have fun together. There's a lot of giggles and fun going on. But I'm with them until 9:30 in the morning. Now you might say, well, how do you do that? I do that because through my entrepreneurial journey, I'm able to make enough money to homeschool. So I have a teacher that comes in that teaches one per child. So I have 2 teachers, and those kids have one-on-one instruction all day, every day. But we get to fool around until 9:30 in the morning, have fun, have giggles, run around the house, and just have a good old time. And entrepreneurship has allowed me to do that. And I wish that for you and for everybody else, that you can have the kind of life that you dream of, whatever it means. Doesn't mean that you're having giggles with your kids every morning, whatever it is for you. I really want you to be able to do that. And entrepreneurship is the key. It's not working for someone else. I mean, I know some people are very successful with that. It's not for me. I worked corporate America until 2005. I was working for law firms. Can't be more corporate than that, trust me. I had a tie on every single day. And if I can never wear a tie again, it's too soon. So, you know, my thought on this whole thing is that let me share the information with you that can help you be successful as an entrepreneur, that can help you be successful in doing something useful, like buying rundown houses and fixing them up, or like getting this overages business going where you're getting rewarded with big chunks of money. You're helping people who are former owners get even bigger chunks of money they didn't know about, and just having a business you can really be proud of, that you can tell your kids, here's what I do. And I help people who've lost a home to foreclosure get restarted again, get thousands of dollars, get into new housing, get started over and over again. Matter of fact, the woman that you see in the picture, Carrie Johnson, we got her $32,000 and she was in a homeless shelter because she'd lost her house, literally in a homeless shelter. And the difference that it made in her life and Carrie's life is that she today is back in a house. She has a normal life again. She has a regular income. We helped her get restarted. So she's disabled, so she gets her disability payment. She wasn't always disabled. She's disabled from a work accident. So she also now has her pension coming in from work, and she's fine. And that's because we reached out and found her. And you say, how do you find a homeless person? Cell phones, the miracle of cell phones. So we helped Carrie get restarted her life, and I have many, many stories I could tell you like that. The point of it is you can have a business where you're helping people in these tremendously amazing ways, and you make a great living yourself, and you can have giggles with your kids in the morning, or do whatever you like to do. Yoga, fix up your car, visit friends, play poker, I don't know. Just have fun and have a great life. So your next steps. Number one, if you want to know about overages, click on the link to the overages intro video. Number two, if you want to know about those leftover property sales and a systematic way to do it, click on my interview with Tony. That'll tell you about that. And third, most important, do something. Oh, and also, like the video and subscribe to it. Like the video because we want to spread the goodness around. I want more people to be successful, and I have lots of good things to share. And also subscribe because if you're interested in tax sales and foreclosures and real estate and entrepreneurship, that's what I'm sharing on. I've been extremely successful. I want to help you be successful. I want to help you to have the kind of life that I have the kind of life that people that are willing to take a chance to invest your time, invest your effort. That's what you deserve. Now, if you're not willing to invest your time and effort, I can't help you. But if you're really determined to be successful, I can and I will help you. So subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you across the course of videos. And I want you to have the ultimately best life and best success that is beyond whatever your dreams were. This is attorney and entrepreneur Bob Diamond. I will see you next time.